Strength coaches, if you could have your athletes do only one exercise to warm up and get ready for movement, what would it be? For me personally, I love mini band knee pumps. Let me show you 12 coaching cues on the knee pumps to get your athletes primed and ready for movement.
What's up guys, Andrew with Vortx Performance. Today we're going over knee pumps. So your feet are gonna be in athletic stance. So feet are about shoulder width apart, and then you're gonna sink your hips back down. So it's kind of like a half squat, a little bit wider with your feet, another inch or two if you can. Good, sink your hips back down. And so what she's gonna do from here is she's just gonna move her right knee 1 to 2 inches out, making sure that the low back and the pelvis is nice and stable. Also making sure that her first metatarsal, this big part of your toe, is staying down and engaged in the floor. Good. So we don't want these low back muscles to turn on. A lot of times they will, and that's okay, but just keep practicing, trying to build up the stability muscles in your low back so that the movement comes primarily from the head of the femur and the acetabulum like this. So another thing to note is the opposite knee. So we want to make sure that her left knee stays nice and stable while she's pumping on the right side. For some people, they'll have a tendency for the left knee to kind of cave in with the right knee. Good, and you notice there's a little bit of shakiness, a little bit of clunkiness. That's totally okay. This is the first time she's done these, but as you keep practicing, they'll become more and more smooth. You'll feel more stable, more strong, and more confident.
Do me a favor real quick. If you're enjoying this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can get more access to all of this awesome free content that I post.
Go ahead and pump on the right knee. So again, you can see here her left knee wants to carry over and follow the right knee. We want to keep this out nice and stable. Again, keeping this first metatarsal, the big toe, down engaged in the floor. It shouldn't come up at all. And a lot of times you'll find that, a leaking energy where the foot wants to come out and compensate rather than the movement coming from her hip. So we want the movement primarily to come from the head of the femur, the acetabulum. Good, and low back's nice and stable. Yep, and try the left side. Good. No movement coming from the low back or the pelvis, just from the hip, the knees moving over, big toes engaged in the floor, torso's at a good angle, chin's tucked down in line with the spine. Good. And again, if you feel any shakiness, any clunkiness in the hip, that's totally okay. We're trying to build the stability muscles around the head of the femur and around the acetabulum, so that shakiness is totally normal. We're just teaching those muscles how to fire and how to stay stable. All right, so again, we've got the mini band knee pumps. Her hips are back and down, knees are bent a little bit, her torso's at a good angle, and go ahead and start pumping on the right knee. So what we're gonna look at here is just the low back muscles. So oftentimes these low back muscles, they'll turn on, they'll twitch, they'll wobble a little bit. We wanna keep this part of your low back as stable as possible. Good, and also making sure that the left knee's nice and stable, hips aren't moving side to side. Go ahead and try it on the left side. Good, again. So if these muscles around your low back do turn on, that's okay, but the more that we can get the movement to come from the head of the femur and the acetabulum and less from the low back, the more efficient she's gonna be, the more power she can produce, and the less leaking energy she'll have. Yep, and just slow and controlled as she brings her knee in. I can start to see she's shaking a little bit, and that's totally okay. Just be an allowance of yourself and keep practicing. The more you do them, the better you'll get.
It's challenging. Can feel it in very different different areas in my back and my hips, which shows there's asymmetry.
Yeah, and so the idea of this exercise is not to target any specific muscle group, but to change the order that your muscles fire in. So we want the head of the femur and the acetabulum to move, and the movement shouldn't come from here. If she feels it in her low back, in her hip, it's not wrong. We're not trying to target a certain muscle. We're trying to get a more efficient movement pattern.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the next one.